Hey everybody, what's going on? Rob Cesternino, and we've got some special extended coverage here during Big Brother 27. I'm here with Taran. I'm very jealous, Taran, because you got the chance to talk to this guy the other day while I was traveling.
Mm.
But here he is. He's back for more. Here he
Yeah.
is. It's Adrian. Adrian, how are you?
Hello, I'm doing as good as I could be, not being in the house, playing the best game in the world. But I'm doing fantastic other than that.
Okay. Adrian, what's it been like to be back in the real world?
Pretty crazy. I got a lot of attention. I got recognized pretty instantly when coming home.
By
Nothing but
who?
love. I absolutely love that. But one thing that I guess was
Who
like
recognized you?
a fan.
Yeah.
I like walked out of the airport. I haven't even got to my car yet. And someone's like, "Hey, I just saw your episode." I was like, "Yeah, it was terrible, right?" Like, I got evicted. I was like, "It was terrible." But I mean, yeah, I took a picture with them and it was like, "Oh my gosh, my first time being recognized." It was like the coolest thing ever. Still getting used to having to like go to the grocery store because the food just kind of shows up in the room. So so now I gotta go to the grocery store. I'm like, I forgot about that, and other things. But I'm happy that my family's happy that I'm back. I would love to still be in there, but I'm here.
Have you been like keeping up with everything going on? Have you looked at the
I have.
responses?
How can I not be? I mean, some people don't want to, but I mean, I love Big Brother. I know the people in there. I lived with them. I have a little bit more insider perspective than what is shown on the show, shown on the live feeds, because the live feeds show a lot, but sometimes you miss things that the live feeds just don't get.
Mhm.
And that's
All
what
right.
I have in here.
All right. Well, then tell us, what's your reaction to everything that's gone on? It's been such a wild week since you left.
My reaction to like everything, I was so disappointed when I heard rumors that it was a balance beam comp. Oh my gosh, I was waiting for that. I could smell it in the air. I was like, bro, this is a
Like
visible comp.
bread.
Huh?
Like bread. You could smell it.
Dude, I could smell it coming up. I was like, I just have to survive this night. I just need to win Blockbuster to guarantee my safety. And I knew because once you have HOH, you have power. And from there, you could start positioning yourself way better in the game, despite my rocky start in the beginning. So yeah, I was waiting for that, but I just couldn't survive the night. And then the fact that Riley won the HOH, because I know he wasn't afraid to make moves. He voted with me towards the end because I think him and Catherine, I was growing a lot closer with as allies. Like Catherine really started to trust me. Of course, the votes didn't go my way, but I told Riley like week 2 that, hey, Mickey has the power. Like she never told me. I could have never 100% knew, but when I narrowed it down to like the 4 people, and then I narrowed it down to 2, which was Mickey and Ashley, I knew Mickey had it because one, I believe she's just a better competitor. She's smart. She kind of knows the game better than Ashley, I would say. And the fact is, when I talked to Zach, he said that he was feeling the room, that like he heard Mickey's voice, and then boom, she tried to, because there's only 2 people around at the time at the dumbwaiter when Zach was feeling trying out his piece. That didn't work, but then Mickey went in and immediately dinged. I was like, yeah, I guarantee you it's Mickey. And then like also, yeah, so I was like, I knew Mickey had the power. I hinted to Riley that he had it, like that she had it, but it was very brief, and we never talked about it again because it wasn't like relevant, I guess, because we never had power in the house. Like when I mean power, I mean more like HOH, vetoes, like anything like game power related.
Yeah. Have you seen anything that's like really surprised you?
Are you talking about Mickey putting up Jimmy?
I mean, anything.
Honestly, nothing too surprising. The only thing was probably the Keanu thing right off the bat. Like he voted, like Riley was the one that flipped the first week. And Keanu was the one that I guess was like voting with me. That was probably the only thing that I didn't like. I feel that I didn't really like, wouldn't have known from if I hadn't left, but I still would have trusted Riley either way, because I think trust is kind of grown. Like it's like built, not just given. Because if you just like assume that you have trust with someone, I guess it could just someone could easily go back on their word. That's Zach and Vince did. So, but I think I was really growing on Catherine and Riley, and I was and because those were the numbers I needed to pull because I knew I wasn't going to get 6. I mean, I knew I had 6 votes that I could not get no matter how hard I tried. But I knew I had the other 6 to rely on, and that's why I was really. I know there are some questions like why, if the live feeders know that felt like I was more interrogating more than campaigning the last week, the week 3, because I already felt like I secured the votes. I still talked to them. I made sure I let them know, like, I made my pitch why they should keep me, and I felt like I did have those 6. And if I had survived the blockbuster, which I had planned to do, I wanted to know who was throwing my name out under the bus, who was like the catalyst behind me keep going up, so that it makes my target clear, because I didn't want to take a shot at Mickey. I'd rather take a shot at Morgan, because I knew she just absolutely feared me when it came to competitions. Week 2, she told me straight up that, hey, like, I like you, but like, I'm scared that I can't beat you. And that's why I'm like, and I grow so close to Will. And that's why she's like, she's not going to vote with me. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Thanks. So, and then a lot of times I guess, I don't know if people know this, but when you win HOH, everyone makes their rounds in the HOH room. Everyone wants to talk to the HOH. They want to see where their head's at. And when it came to week 3, it was like clockwork. Mickey goes in, then Mickey comes out, then Morgan goes in, then Morgan goes out, then Ashley comes in, then she goes out, Rachel comes in, and then she goes out, then Jimmy goes in, and I'm waiting my turn. I go in for 5 minutes, and Mickey comes in and is like, hey, are you holding her against her will? I was like, no. I was like it was like a 1v5 campaign, and it's not like I could have keep going in Lauren's room in between every single person. You know, that's what Keanu did. That put a huge target on his back. I mean, it's like, it was really, I was campaigning hard, against other people that were campaigning just as hard. It was a huge fight that I had to try to convince Lauren to not put me on the block. And that was like a huge struggle, because I know I had Vince and Zach that wanted to keep me, but they wouldn't want to double down to Lauren, because I think Lauren really would have trusted their word. If Lauren was basically asking for people what to do, except that I wasn't as close to her that she would take my word over everyone else in the house. But so there was that.
Yeah, I mean, I really think that if Zach or Vince had really just said, listen, you need to put up Ashley and not Adrian, she would have done it.
Yeah. I mean, I think they would have, because the whole time Vince and Zach knew I was loyal to them. They knew I would protect them. They knew I wouldn't put them up. And the same thing with Lauren. I mean, even though it was upsetting, I couldn't be mad at Lauren. It wouldn't make any sense. I needed her to break that tie. I knew I couldn't get 7. Maybe I like to think I would have hoped got Ava, but I knew she was never going to do it. So I knew that I had to be nice. I had to play nice to Lauren, because if not, then she could easily be like, I'm not going to give you the tie. And it makes more sense for her game to keep me over Will, because she just doesn't talk much game for Will. Will hasn't promised her anything. And with my track record that I could protect her, I could play in comps if I need to. But of course, a lot had to happen for me to be here. I think a lot of bad things had to happen, which we could talk about if you want. I mean, there's a lot we could talk about.
Sure. Well, let's talk about all of it. But let me know, are you more annoyed with Zach and Vince after seeing how they could have done more to help you?
A little bit. It's upsetting, because I really did have their back, even though I knew Vince was quiet. He wasn't name dropping. Huge indicator he was working with everybody. But I told Lauren this in HOH. Does that mean I want him up? No. Does that mean I don't trust him? No. I believe he has my back. But I noticed that he's not saying anybody's names, because, well, he's good with everybody. I see him go in rooms with Mickey, Morgan, Jimmy. I see him talk to me and Kelly. I see him talk to Zach and Morgan. And then when he's talking to Lauren, and Lauren's asking who should be put up, he's saying only Keanu, because everyone knows, everyone wants Keanu. It's a name already out there. Same thing when I said Jimmy, because Jimmy kind of threw Lauren's name under the bus. I mentioned it. Lauren's not going to do that. She promised Jimmy safety since Jimmy didn't put her up, and she didn't want to go back on her word. And plus, that's just too big of a shot for her to take, because she's a little scared to take a shot. So I was a little bit, I guess you could say, a little bit annoyed or upset that Zach and Vince didn't push as hard. It makes sense why they did, but it's just upsetting that I guess they didn't do that. I mean, the whole point, the ideal world is if I could have ensured that Lauren hadn't put me up, I wouldn't have to fight for my life, and that I would. There's a possibility that Kelly could have stayed. Well, no. I mean, well, she could have stayed potentially if Ashley was put up there, because I think we could have swayed the votes, especially Vince, because Vince knows Ashley is coming after him because of the whole week one. He put her up. So I knew if Ashley went up, there's a good chance that I could also keep Kelly, despite how the house wasn't really fond of Kelly. And we kept being associated. So I knew that she had her pros and cons being close to Kelly. It did hurt like my social game being, I guess, close to Kelly. But one thing is, towards the end of week 3, I think she realized that basically the only loyal person to her was basically me. The only reason why she was playing nice was with Keanu is because she knew that, like, if he ever won power, that she would be safe, since Keanu is just such a beast in the veto competitions.
Yeah. Here, Adrian. So I know you have a lot that you want to get off your chest and talk about, and I know we have only a short amount of time here with you. So I want to make sure you have the opportunity to tell us the things that you wanted to make sure people knew about your game.
Okay. So let's see. Well, I know the honesty thing people have a lot of questions about, right? Like, you gotta lie in Big Brother. You know, I literally said in like my pre-interview, I'm like, yeah, this is Big Brother. It's backstabbing. It's lying, right? So why didn't I lie? I mean, I wasn't against lying. I was against lying without like a reason, right? So that's why I said I hate liars. In the world, what I do, but in the Big Brother game, I have to lie, right? And the thing is, I just needed a reason to justify, because in week 1, literally everyone's perception was this guy just can't lie. Mickey literally said he wanted to keep Kelly over me because Adrian just cannot lie, and that's why she trusted me with information. It's why some people wanted to work with me, because out of the 3 biggest targets, which was Kelly and Keanu, I was the next runner-up, just because, one, I was a competition threat, and that my closeness with Kelly about her instigating her lying, it just made me the perfect person to put up alongside Kelly and Keanu. But the thing is, I was more workable than both of them, because Keanu thinks everything could be fixed with a simple conversation. I love the dude personally, but like Rachel, Jimmy, like, they're not going to have your back like someone else, like I would, or something like that.
That's a funny thing though, just to interrupt for a moment, but like the Rachel and Keanu thing, and I know you had an interesting relationship with Rachel, but did it surprise you that Rachel really was genuinely trying to work with Keanu for a long time?
It wasn't surprising. She said that she's like sentimental. She's like, she likes emotion, or like, but she gets very upset if you don't open up to her, if you don't like get emotional with her, or if you don't like praise her. If you say like one wrong thing, if you accidentally say, hey, you have like a pimple growing there, she's gonna get mad. She's like, oh my gosh, you want to fight? You want to put me on the block? That's it. You know what I mean? Like, so she, like, you had to like rather praise her, and like I wouldn't bite into her things. You know, she would always ask me, like, so what does that mean to you? You know, what's your happiest moment? Like, she was interviewing me, and a lot of times she has this smile where she's smiling. Like, this is nothing to, this was just my perception of her in the game, nothing to her personally, but like, she would smile like, and then like, it felt like she got tired of smiling for a second, of like putting up this act, and then her face would go down and then back up. And she did that all the time. And it just came off like a little bit wrong with me, but also at the same time, I knew I couldn't really trust her, because I didn't watch her season, but I kind of knew how she would play, and she's not afraid of confrontation. She's not afraid of playing a little bit dirty. And I didn't want that confrontation. I didn't need to put a target on my back. And she's going to do what it takes to save her game. Player, so I couldn't trust her with info.
Yeah, no, it's funny because it feels like so few people watched her season and they don't realize that she was like probably one of the most loyal winners. She won by sticking to her alliance, but everyone in the house thinks that she's a backstabber. But I do think I think her social game has been the struggle here. I called her a wall yeller inside the house, because she keeps saying the right thing, which is don't trust Vince. He's not loyal to anyone, but nobody will listen because nobody trusts her.
Yeah, I mean, I think she's doing as well as she could in the house. I think It's because she is kind of struggling, I guess, to like make connections. But like I think everyone's more like, I don't want to take that shot, because one, she's gonna blow up. Two, they feel like someone else is gonna do it, and three, she's a shield for everybody. So and I was like, if I had to do it, it would have to be a backdoor plan, like the old backdoor. And I heard Zach talking about it live feeds too. Like Rachel isn't the person you want to put up in your initial nominees because she's gonna blow up. You don't need that heat. The best way to take her out is through like the backdoor option. And that's why when I said I would target Keanu, Jimmy, Rachel, and Morgan, but I would probably, the only reason is like Keanu, because I generally would want him to stay. But like I promised the house that, hey, that he's my target. And plus at the moment, I didn't really know if I could trust him because he lies to everybody. I think he had good intentions with me, but he did lie to me a few times. Like it's not the biggest deal that he lied, but it's just that it's like you can't trust him, the house doesn't trust him, and you don't want to be associated with that. That's one of the reasons why Lauren put me up, is because Keanu was campaigning hard to put up Ashley and say, hey, I will take the blame for it. And I'm like, oh, and then so she didn't want to be associated. Lauren was also scared, with like she was scared of the girls, especially Rachel, and upsetting everybody. So like a lot had to happen. I forgot what I was talking about. What was the topic?
Well, Adrian, you were telling us the things that you wanted to make sure people knew about your game. And so I want to make sure that we give you the time to be able to do that. So, okay, so you covered the honesty thing. What were some other things that you want to correct the record?
Let's see. I don't know. Like some people asked about like the Mickey thing. Like, why would I tell like Zach and Vince like the Mickey stuff, right? The reason it did, because I did trust Mickey, or I did believe that she wouldn't have put me up. I think she wanted to work with me, but we just kept getting pinned against each other, mostly because she was way closer to Will and Ashley. So when it came up to me and Will, she was going to vote. She's going to try to keep Will over me. And then when it came to week 3, where it's like me and Ashley, I was like, she wanted to keep Ashley. And I heard on live feeds recently that she wished that maybe she should have campaigned to put Ashley up instead of me. Because I wouldn't have gone after Mickey. I said it before. I wouldn't have done it. I would have gone over like Morgan, like her closer ally. It was very obvious. And that's all. I guess that's another thing I would like to talk about real quick would be like, there's no loyalty in that house. Like why, like for week 1, why didn't I like,
you don't say.
I know. It was very obvious. I didn't want to be like week 1. They're like, it's so like it looked like everyone thought I was gonna go in there, jump the gun, be like everywhere. But I played a low profile game, but probably a little bit too much. You know, you hear people say that like maybe you should have focused on socializing. One, it was like I knew I was safe with Vince, and like this kind of like led to like how close Kelly got, because Kelly had a huge target on her back by going up to Vince in the HOH room, and it rubbed everyone the wrong way. She was planting seeds, but she loved me, and that she told Vince that, hey, I really like Adrian, don't put him up. And it's probably, I talked to Vince, like, don't put Kelly up. And it's probably one of the reasons why Vince didn't put Kelly up the first 3 noms, is because I said putting up your allies is ridiculous, whatever. But going back to the whole, like, it was very clear. I didn't want to stay like in one room with one person too long, because it made it too obvious that everyone would, like, if you see a group of 5 always together, like, or a group of 3, like Vince, Mickey, and Morgan, it's so obvious that they're working together. And it's just like, I had alliances called Willpower, which was with Will and Zach and me. We made that like day 2. And then we had like the final 3 with Vince, Kelly, and me. But I knew when Kelly and Vince approached me with the final 3 or whatever, I'm like, why not a final 2 with Kelly or Vince? And so I'm like, they have a final 2 together. It's pretty obvious. Like I knew everyone had small alliances, and it wasn't hard to figure out. I didn't care about the name. It's like, what was the point of like going up to people that I knew they already had their number 2s, their number 3s, and I come up and like, hey, put me in your alliance. Like, what was the point of that? Like, I know, and then the fact that if you're loyal to everybody, you're loyal to nobody.
Well, as we've seen in this house, I think being an ally of somebody is a detriment, because they're more likely to target you if you are an ally of theirs.
Yeah, and it's like I was like, I say, like, you know, winners got to win. Like equality is you win when you need to, because like if I could survive this BS week, week 3, then I think I would have done well, especially if I had won HOH, because like I would put up the people that I knew couldn't rely on their votes, like Morgan, Rachel, Jimmy. I would have put those people up simply because I knew I couldn't rely on their votes at all. And once I start dwindling that numbers, people are going to be like, hey, I want to join Adrian's side, right? Because what makes alliances crumble is losing alliance. No one wants to be in an alliance that never wins, right? Because then there's no point of being in that alliance. So if you could dwindle the numbers from that side, people are going to start being loyal to the side that's winning. And that's all. And I was just waiting for my chance for an HOH that I trade for. Like the week 2 was a shot in the dark. Week 1, I didn't want to throw it because the reason was because the first competition, I did want to win. Because I wanted that power. I didn't know what it was. I just knew I wanted it. So I had power going into the game. But it made me a huge threat. People were always saying, oh, you're a comp beast. So when it came to the HOH, I felt that I had to throw it. I guess I just didn't throw it as well as I should have.
Well, that's a huge turning point because, if Zach doesn't go upstairs and start opening those doors, that you may get that $10,000 and that veto power. But maybe you would have used it in week 2.
Maybe, but maybe not. I mean, who knows what would have happened? Especially if I had that power, maybe I would have wanted to win the HOH too, knowing that, I guess I had a target on my back. But I was like, okay, cool. Zach has a target on my back, not me. But Ava, I clocked her pretty early on. She was like, hey, you're a big target. I'm like, early on. She said, you're a comp beast. You're a comp beast. I was like, you're not doing that unintentionally. I see you, Ava. I know what you're doing. And then she always tried to apply, put the couples together. I clocked Ava pretty early on as a threat. But the only thing is you just couldn't take that shot because one, she's not a physical threat that you have to worry about. She's loved and there's just bigger fish to fry. But I knew that if it ever came down to me and Will, that she was never going to vote my way. So yeah, I mean, I think it was very easy to I kind of read the house guests, except when it came to the Keanu situation. But the only thing is just it didn't make sense to go after Ava because I knew players, like I said in the house, I want to work with strong competitors because they're not going to fear me as much as people that believe they couldn't beat me, like Morgan. She believed that she couldn't beat me, so she feared me. Ava told me week 1, she's like, hey, I want to vote out Zay simply because I can't beat him. I'm worried that I can't beat him in the comp, so it's best to do it now. So knowing that, and she thought we were in the same boat, and we kind of were week 1, but the problem was that when me and Will got pinned against each other, she had a closer connection with Will than I did. And she was going to keep Will, 1, because the closer connection, and 2, simply she would have feared that she can't beat me in the comp when it came down to it. So I was I knew I was going to win her vote. And that was another reason that I guess I know Ava's in a good position, but she is a threat, but not an immediate one, I guess, unless it's me.
Adrian, I think we're out of time, but it was so nice to get the chance to talk to you. I thought that you were a really fun person to have in the Big Brother house. I know you've been in the house for the last couple of weeks. Did you hear that Taran wrote a book about Big Brother? Did you know that?
Taran? No. Who's Taran?
What?
Me.
Adrian.
Sorry. I'm I didn't know you wrote a book about Big Brother. I didn't know that.
So,
well, congrats on your book. I didn't know that. I mean, did it involve strategy in there? How to win?
There's a bit of that in there, yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. I'll probably have to check that out later.
You a copy before All Stars, and you can read up about Rachel and the seasons that you haven't seen.
Yeah. I know. I was a little. Yeah. I didn't see all the seasons. I would love to have to, but I mean. Yeah, I know some people want to call me a super fan. I am a fan of the show, but I mean, I was I just build competitions in my backyard, so I guess people want to put me as super fan. And I would say I guess I am, but I hold high standards for super fans.
Adrian, you come back, tell us all about the wall comp and the praying mantises, and I want to hear about all of it. But I know that you got a lot of stuff going on right now, so we'll let you go. You seem like a great guy. Everybody loved you. You made Will cry that they didn't want to see you go. So all the best outside. Where can people keep up with you, Adrian?
They could find me on Instagram called Living Life with Adrian. Same thing, that same thing. YouTube, TikTok, Threads, everything's the same. Living Life with Adrian. That's where they could find me if they want to keep up.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, I'm not too active on there, but I did post my wall comp. I showed a better picture of it. And then my balance beams, how they're 4 times as smaller as the one on the show. And that's the ones I practice on. Just so that I know that I could handle smaller balance beams compared to the big ones, because big ones would be too easy to practice on.
Okay. And Taran, where can people keep up with you?
Of course, you can order the book, TaranArmstrong.com, or find me on YouTube and Twitch, hanging out, watching the episodes, and all that good stuff.
And of course, we'll have recaps of Wednesday and Thursday here on RHAP. So make sure you come and check us out after the episodes and all throughout BB27 over at WeKnowBigBrother.com. Take care, everybody. Have a good one. Bye. This is RHAP. We know reality TV.